I remember when Amazon started. I remember that it was this tiny little company, and there was like one guy that was just selling used books via online. And I remember just thinking, that's not going to last at all. And on the contrary, I also remember when Whole Foods, now bear with me for a second. Whole Foods was a huge company that I thought was going to be around forever. It was kind of like a Trader Joe's, but all the foods were whole. I remember when it bought a company called Nature's in Portland, Oregon, and it was kind of like a co-op, and it was kind of bringing a co-op to a mass market. And I thought it was super cool. I actually kind of thought it was a little expensive, and I hated the hippies that were inside Whole Foods, but I kind of liked their business model, and I thought it was cool. Well, what I was thinking about this last night is that a couple of years ago, Amazon, this tiny little used book company, purchased Whole Foods. And I just thought it was such an interesting situation because, at one time Whole Foods was this giant and Amazon was this little tiny guy that was, pretty much working out of his garage. And I thought that it kind of equated to what goes on in the hairdressing industry, meaning, there are these giants in the hairdressing industry, and they are almost like, so clumsy because they're so giant. And then you have these little tiny guys that are coming up through the ranks and almost buying out the big guys. And what I think happens is people get upset when the small guy becomes successful and flips that script on, the big guy is now the small guy and whatnot. And I really kind of think that we should stop being so upset about it, because really what happens is when we reach a point of success where we're like, comfortable, I feel like we get to a point to where we get so comfortable that we don't have the hustle anymore. We lose that hustle gene. And I think that the only way for us to remain successful and for us to continue being successful and continue having those wins and after wins after wins is to have that hustle. Is to stay young, is to stay that small Amazon. So my whole thought is I feel like my goal in life is I want to go back to being Amazon, and I want to go purchase Whole Foods. So I'm going to hustle as much as I possibly can and do the grunt work and do the stuff that people don't want to see and kind of change things and do things on my own terms, so I can eventually, make a little bit of a difference and say, I'm going to buy Whole Foods for cash. And in my belief, I'm going to buy L'Oreal Professional for cash. And I hope that when I do, and that when you guys do buy your Whole Foods, that people will cheer you on as opposed to, being negative towards you and be like, oh, that's that person that was, doing, work out of their garage this last year. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I had my have breakfast with Ryan, so my awesomer is coming out a little bit later than usual, but I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.